Hello YouTube, Blue State Refugee here. Out on the balcony, going to roast some coffee. Have some Colombian micro-lot green beans here. Now the beans in their green form can last for quite some time, but once you roast the coffee, it's going to be perishable. And that's going to affect the taste and the flavor. Now I think that really the true coffee experience begins right at this process. You can go into a store and you can buy some expensive roasted coffees, but you really don't know how long they've been there. That's always been my question. Is I look at the dates and it says it's maybe good for another year. Does that mean that it was just roasted last week, or was it roasted 3 months ago? So I think this helps us to control that process. Now, once I get this thing going, it's going to be noisy, so I'm not going to have any audio over the top of it. This is a fresh roast SR 500, and I roast about 1 cup of green beans at a time. They actually almost double in volume once they're roasted. And I also have the other essential piece of equipment is a mesh colander strainer. Now you don't have to use the expensive coffee roaster that I have. They're about a little over maybe $120. You can use an old popcorn popper, but you have to make sure you get the proper wattage. There's a lot of good resources out there on YouTube. Some of the people that I really admire and have garnered a lot of information are a gentleman by the name of Yankee Prepper. And he also actually is in the business of selling green coffee and roasted coffee. And I'm going to post a link to his website, because I think he does a great service. He's reasonable. He's not looking to gouge anybody, but he's like everybody else. He's got to make a little bit for himself. So just to get going, I usually try to roast this on the high setting, and I usually set it for, it comes in at 6.6 minutes, and I usually start at 8.5. Now I've noticed that this is really subjective to ambient air temperature, so the warmer it is out, the quicker the roasting process is. And conversely, obviously when it's cold out in the 30s, you can't get this to roast and get a first crack or a second crack for that matter. So we're looking to have probably a nice full city roast. It really is the way I enjoy it. You can have a lighter roast. Now, you know that the longer you roast your coffee, the less caffeine it generally has. So we're going to start the process with, as I said, 1 nice scoop of the Colombian beans. And we're going to put those in to our roaster. And we're going to set those aside. We're going to put the top on. Now this also has a 3-minute cooling cycle at the end. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start it at high with a high fan speed. Now the slower you have the fan, the hotter the chamber becomes, the roasting chamber. Okay, so you're going to want to pay attention, because it can go from really, really good to extremely bad really fast. So I'm going to start it with the fan speed at about 3/4, and about 3 to 3.5 minutes left from the process, I'm going to turn the fan down to half. Okay, so we're going to start the process, and I'm actually going to turn the mic off so you don't pick up all this extra noise. Alright, turn the mic back on. We're all done. The last little step you saw that I did was I turned the fan back to high, so that when it goes into its cooling cycle, that the fan is blowing at its maximum. Now I put that in the wire mesh, and that's a nice light roast. The nice thing about this SR 500 is it has a little chaff catcher on the top there, which makes it a little bit more clean process. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to grind this up and make some cold pressed coffee so I can have a nice big shot of caffeine tomorrow before I go to the gym. I think we're going to do some deadlifts. So if you've found this video to be of value, please like, share, and subscribe. I want you to always to think free and act free to truly be free. Long live the Republic.